at neighbours, what protects me from this?
We have rules for noise limits, which are generally lower than what is in the current plan. There are also rules to manage noise and vibration from temporary activities such as construction. In all parts of the district, standards would apply to outdoor artificial light to regulate brightness, light spill and glare. Lighting that does not meet those standards would require a resource consent. Several light-sensitive environments have been identified where additional controls would protect these areas from artificial sky glow. This includes places such as Omarama and Ohau Village. Tell us if you think we've got it right about these standards.
What is happening with our coastline, sea level rise and erosion?
Coastal natural hazards are influenced by climate change, which is expected to increase the severity of coastal natural hazards. The coastal inundation hazard areas and coastal erosion hazard overlays incorporate climate change predictions. Further built development along the coastline can increase the community's vulnerability to tsunami hazards, and there are some low-lying parts of the district that are more exposed to this. Both the coastal erosion and inundation areas have been mapped, so check it out if you live near the sea.
Will we get more flooding and have to move?
Over the last few years we have experienced plenty of flood events, so yes, there will potentially be more flooding. We haven't identified areas of housing that will have to move as a result of this, but there will be isolated pockets that may be more at risk. If you've got wet feet before or are near a waterway, then check out the maps and see if your property is affected.
How are we looking after our old buildings?
The importance of heritage is retained and strengthened in our draft plan. We have over 30% more heritage items now listed, many at the request of owners. A heritage area overlay is also identified for the coherent historic streetscape in Oamaru. So what does this mean?
Obviously, consent would be triggered for the demolition or relocation of a listed heritage item. There are also rules for any new permanent building within the setting of a historic heritage item. Internal alterations of listed heritage items will now only require consent if affecting heritage fabric. Oamaru's historic area, located south of Coquette Street and east of 7th Street down to Wanspec Street, will continue to require a resource consent for activities which could potentially damage the heritage values of the exterior of an item, building or structure. This includes things like additions. The rules for demolition of a character contributing building have been strengthened.
Kia ora. What Maori values are recognised and protected?
Tēnā koutou, te whānau o Waitaki. Kia ora, my name is David Higgins. I lived for a few years in Moeraki, and I'm the upoko runaka of this marae and this takiwa. Being upoko runaka is the spiritual leader of this takiwa. My people for many generations have lived on this land throughout the Waitaki region. We've used and utilised the resources, benefited from the rivers, the lakes and the moana. Our whakapapa, traditions and stories are embedded in the landscape. That's what Wahi Tupuna means. The Wahi Tupuna areas that we've selected within the Waitaki takiwa are of supreme importance to our people. Have been for many generations and will be well into the future. Maira. Many of those sites of significance stretch over vast extent of land. Much of that land may be on private property, but some obviously will be close to river mouths, rivers themselves and lakes. So in describing Wahi Tupuna and the extent of those areas is important for us as a people and for the community at large. The importance also of wahi tupuna, is that we would want to, as mana whenua, ensure that those lands are carefully surveyed prior to any disturbance of the lands for development in the future.